Art.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have another action figure review. This time we'll be reviewing the Marvel Legends The Watcher Build-A-Figure from the Disney Plus What If wave from Marvel Studios. This is an action figure by Hasbro, and again it is from the What If Disney Plus wave of characters. All right, first of all, my overall impressions is that it's a nice looking figure. Spot on to the actual likeness of the character on the What If series, but why wouldn't it be, being that it was a cartoon? It's not necessarily based on a live action figure or anything like that. As you look at the face sculpt here, you can see that the eyes are solid white, but they do have a shadow underneath the bridges and up underneath the base of the eyes. I don't know if you can tell on here, but there's kind of a dark wash to those particular features, which brings out the features quite nicely, if you ask me. The cowl and the robe are actually two different shades of blue. The robe itself is more of a royal blue, while the cowl and the cape itself is more of almost a navy blue. But again, in the lighting, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but they do closely match. One thing I do love about it, if you can see the inside of the cape there, it has this nice texture to it. Then of course I love the Marvel Legends capes because of the way they're sculpted. They all have these real nice waves and rolls in them, which is awesome. The same thing is repeated there in this particular piece, which is one hard piece of plastic. It's not a separate fabric at all. And while I do love the sculpt of the actual cape itself, how it appears to be, flapping in the wind and things of that nature, it's actually pretty stationary. But unlike some of the other capes, the Doctor Doom cape, for example, which is this thick, sturdy piece of plastic, this is actually quite malleable. It's softer. You can actually bend it and flex it with your hands, although it's not a wire cape, so it's quite limited in what you can actually do with it. And so that's why I ultimately decided to go with a custom wired cape that I ordered off of eBay that I will display in just a moment. As we look at the gold plate on the front of the chest, it's nicely sculpted as well. There's the octagon feature. If you actually look there, it actually has a couple of copper stripes in it. I don't know if that's by design or if that's QC in the painting process itself, but it actually works. And then we also have the golden gauntlet as well. I'm going to take the figure apart in just a moment so you can see the actual articulation of the figure. There's not much you can do, or you're limited to what you can do with it wearing the actual cape. But there is some articulation that can take place by virtue of his left arm. You've got 100% rotation on the shoulder. You've got upper bicep swivel, pinless action on the elbows. Looks like it's double jointed there. Although I don't see where there's much more bend you can have there. But it does appear to be three separate sections there. I don't want to force the issue. I don't want to break it. You've got wrist swivel. And then of course forward and backwards. No additional hand features, no bald fists or anything like that. But then again, he is the watcher, and they are sworn not to interfere, only to observe. Even though throughout the history of the comics, he's been in his fair share of melees, and even on the What If series itself, where he threw down with none other than Ultimate Ultron. Same thing over here. You got the cowl there. You got 360-degree rotation in the shoulder. No bicep swivel, but right there at the elbow, it does bend in and out thus far. The wrist action there. Hands do not close as far as the head is concerned. Looks up that much. Looks down quite a bit. Left, right, or right to left, depending on your viewing pleasure. It's almost on a tilt there, but again moves around quite nicely. And also the cowl again does remove. Pretty sure all the pieces do when you're putting it together. I've seen a couple of videos and pictures where the individual had this placed on the outside of the cape. Just took it apart there, so as you can see, it fits inside of the groove here, and yeah, fits on the outside, but it actually designed to go inside. If you get in there snugly, which I didn't, but let me go ahead and pop the head off so you can see how the cape comes off. Standard ball socket. This is the cowl piece again, which fits inside like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Then, because again, when you buy all these pieces, they're separate and you have to put them together yourself. So I just want you to see what that looks like. I believe the arms pop off as well, which they do. That one not so much, but I'm sure it does. And then this piece comes apart as well, the midsection. You've got the upper chest, and then the robe itself is a hollow piece that sits atop the torso. And then you've got the torso with the legs, and I believe the legs may come off right here at the thigh swivel. But again, just so you can see the articulation there, he does have quite a bit of articulation, which is limited again. Double jointed knees, like we talked about, nice range of motion, nice ankle pivot as far as up and down, forward and backwards. Not much rocker, although it does just a bit. You know, I never figured out why you would want to do that with an action figure, but I guess it serves some purpose. Some action figure collectors love it, but again, I'm not a collector. I'm simply collecting a set of characters. Waist pivot, or what do you call it? Ab crunch. Not necessarily ab crunch, but he does. He can bend down quite a bit in a 45-degree pose. There he is from the back with the buttocks. Bottom of the feet have pegs. Nicely sculpted toes. And those are your figures there. A lot of them. And I am going to put it back together when I add the custom cape and cowl, so you can see what that looks like. So I'll be right back. All right, change of plans. Before I decide to put the wired custom cape and cowl back on, I want to show you how to the figures are assembled, in case again you have bought them yourself. And of course the head goes on like so. That's self-explanatory. Then you've got the chest, which connects to the upper torso and the legs like so. And then the arm, which again has its own plastic robe on, which doesn't actually come apart. So that's what the figure would look like. That's what the figure looks like in his undies, if you will. All right, that having been said, again, I purchased a custom cape. The watcher figure itself ran about $35 on eBay. That was one of the cheaper ones that I found. This particular cape and cowl set. Uh-oh. Stay. That head is just too big for that body. All of the weight is fortunate to topple over. He has a thin build, by the way, almost more feminine than you would expect for a male, unless he's a basketball player. I don't know. The more I think about it, he's got that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar build. So, you know, the basketball player. So, it is what it is. In any event, this wired cape and cowl, I think I saw for going for as much as $40 or so, but I found one for 17 and change, and decided I'd jump on it. Now let's figure out how this thing goes on. This is the actual cape itself. All right, so obviously it goes like so, and then this is the skirted portion, which is going to go around the torso. So we're gonna pull this back apart, and this particular section you're going to attach along here like so, and it kind of stays on its own. You know, I thought it would have some Velcro attached or something like that. I was wondering how in fact it was going to stay, but again, it has the wiring inside of it, and so I guess that allows it to stay put. And from there, you're simply going to attach it on the inside of the. From there, you're simply going to attach it to the inside of the chest cavity. Kind of tuck everything in so it can't be seen. And bam, there it is. Hide some of that off in there. Take your toothpick or a pen or something. Put it in there. You may even want to move this particular fold to the back side, but we can worry about all of that later. Right now, that's what it looks like with that on. If I can get it to stand up. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. All right, and then from here, we've got the cape itself. I'm going to stick the cowl back on first, which goes in here like this. Then I'm going to take the cape and fold it around like so. Fold that over the top of it like that. And really, that's all there is. I don't want to cover up the. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. The way that's folding there. I may take a needle and thread and kind of pin that together there when it's all said and done, so I don't have to keep worrying about it coming apart. But I love the way the cape is folding when I put it over the shoulders. That's my thing, cape folds. Oh, that's my thing right there. And so, and you can take to the wire and make the cape move how you want. That's not the prettiest in the back, but once you get to playing with it and making it move and doing its thing and get to animating it so it flows in the wind. That even looks like a hood the way I've got it apart there, which is cool as well. Have you ever seen a watcher in a hood? I don't know, but that'd be cool as well. And so you guys let me know what you think. Again, you're gonna have to find something to tack that down to pin that with so it doesn't keep coming off. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I think that is a win. All right, this watcher figure is actually now officially the largest figure that I has, or at least the tallest, standing at a full 9 inches from toe to the tip of the cowl. Time for some size comparisons. Here he is standing next to the standard 6-inch Marvel Legends female figure. This is custom painted with the custom Maria Rambeau head sculpt from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Here he is standing next to the man himself, Dr. Stephen Strange from the Multiverse of Madness Legends series. This figure stands at about 6.5 inches. Here he is standing next to the Mezco Reed Richards action figure with a custom painted John Krasinski head sculpt. This figure stands at about 6 and just under 3/4 of an inch. Here he is standing next to the Legend Series Thor, the Dark World action figure from the Infinity Saga wave. This figure stands at about 7.5 inches. Here he is standing next to my favorite Hulk rendition, the Figma Hulk. This figure stands at about 7 and is billed at 7.87, so it's just over 7.5 inches, just under 8. And finally, here he is standing next to what was my largest action figure, the Blastar figure. I believe that's by Hasbro, but don't hold me to that. That figure stands at 8.5 inches, I believe. So as you can see, the watcher kind of towers over him. Well, not towers over him, but again, he's 8.5 to the watcher's 9 inches from head to toe. And he sizes up pretty well. So there you have it. That's how the watcher stacks up to the Marvel Legends line, including the Figma and the Mezco line of action figures. And it scales up relatively well. I'm quite pleased with the figure, and I think it'll make a great addition to the series. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe to the channel. There'll be plenty more to come. Stay tuned.